We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, would interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. Not much for an update. Did some dishes, took a bath, bathed and shaved, took a little nap. Went to bed at noon. It's now 5. So I woke up about 4, so I got about 4 hours of sleep. So I'll probably will be going back to bed. Who knows? Got me a cup of Joe. I'm gonna be fixing some bruschetta tonight. Haven't had it in a little bit. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Summertime, I don't know if it's something about the summer, but I eat a lot of bruschetta during the summer. It's fucking good. A little French bread, toasted a little bit, diced tomato, diced onion, some garlic, basil, salt, balsamic vinaigrette. You can even get fancy, put a little melted mozzarella on the bottom or on the bread and then put the bruschetta on top. Or bruschetta. But yeah, I gotta fix that for dinner, and it's pretty good too, man. I can eat on it for usually 3 or 4 days. It's pretty dope. Should try it out. Alright, but let's get on with the show. I'm glad to be back in business. I truly am. It looks like this week, knock on wood, hopefully I ain't gonna have too much trouble getting back and forth to work. So I'm already finding 3 or 4 vehicles that are for sale in my price range. I told Sammy, I'm like, look, I don't want to spend more than $4,000. I just want something to get me to and from work. All I got to do is make it to and from work, which is 5 miles. Once in a blue moon, I have to go to the post office or something like that, run an errand to Walmart, But yeah, dude, I just need something to run around town. I don't need something for crazy travel. But I'm finding 3 or 4 vehicles already that are in my price range, like 2,500, 3Gs, shit like that. Which is awesome, It's a lot better than blowing my entire bank account of $8,000 to fix a transmission, So, let's get on with the show, though. A lot of weird stuff's been going on with Area 51. First of all, I have an Area 51 playlist. Go check it out if you're interested in the subject of Area 51. It's on YouTube. If you're on Spotify listening, go to YouTube. Go subscribe over there. Because you'll be missing out on some of the content. Because some of my content is smaller, short form content. Not all of it on my YouTube channel is full blown podcast. Sometimes I do. Once in a blue moon, I'll just make a silly video or a cooking video or a taste test video, something like that. So I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, I will send you a bumper sticker. These bumper stickers are durable as fuck. My wife has one on her coffee mug. It's been washed 1,000 times. And you'll also get a signed bookmark. I will sign the back. Unless you don't want me to, you can message and buy me a coffee. So, 2 for 1. You donate to the channel, it helps the channel, and you get a bookmark and a bumper sticker. So, Area 51. Apparently, here recently, Area 51 has had 17 earthquakes. Nevada. I'm not sure how far Nevada is from California. I know California gets earthquakes. I'm not sure. I've never really heard of much earthquakes out in Nevada. I've just never thought about it. Maybe, I don't know. Is it common for Nevada to have earthquakes? But is it common for Area 51, one of the strangest places, which is known for like alien shit? I personally think it's experimental military aircraft. Yes, you are seeing UFOs. Don't always jump to the conclusion it's extraterrestrial. They could just be experimenting with military craft. You know, drones, stealth. Because wasn't it the stealth fighter that came out of Area 51? You know. That's just me, though. I try not to jump to conclusions. Yes, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yes, is it fun? Yeah, it's fun to talk about the type of shit, that type of shit. But we can't forget things like Occam's razor, you know. But that being said, what the fuck are they experimenting on in Area 51 that caused 17 earthquakes? And very few people have been talking about this, and I don't know about you, but as a conspiracy theorist, I've always been interested in Area 51, and 17 earthquakes is a little fucking weird. So let's get into this article. Earthquakes near Area 51 have sparked nuclear conspiracy theories. Here's what happened. At least 17 earthquakes have been recorded near Area 51 in Nevada over the past 2 days, drawing attention online and speculation around nuclear testing. Interesting. Nuclear testing, so I'm guessing testing bombs, which we did cover earlier this year. Trump had restarted the testing of nuclear bombs in the U.S. That hasn't been done since, like, was it the late 60s, early 70s? I mean, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, there's a scene where Raoul Duke is in a elevator, and they see a bomb go off, and it shakes the whole building. That was out in Las Vegas, so I mean, it hasn't been done, since like the 70s, I think, is when they stopped testing nuclear bombs, you know. And we did a whole episode on it. I can't remember what the episode's called. You'll have to go back through the library. If you're on YouTube, it should be under the Donald Trump playlist. But weird shit, man. So that's a possible thing. And I mean, it is a military base, so they could be testing nuclear bombs out there. But Dr. Robert Sherpakov, associated professor with the Department of Earth Sciences, Western University, says there's perfectly ordinary scientific explanation for the activity. Is there, though? 17 fucking earthquakes doesn't sound fucking normal to me. Maybe it's just because I live in Kentucky. I lived down in Florida half my life, and I've lived half my life up here. Down in Florida, I don't remember ever having one earthquake, ever. Here in Kentucky, since I've lived here, which has been like 15, 16 years, maybe 17 at this point, I think I remember experiencing I think I've experienced like 3 earthquakes my entire time living here within 17 years. So maybe they're more common out in Nevada. if you live in Nevada, if you live near that way, if you've ever been to Nevada, if you know anything about Nevada, hit me up in the comments. Let me know, is this fucking normal? Because 17 in Area 51 doesn't sound normal to me. In an interview with National Post, he explained, "We call these events, quote-unquote, swarms, where earthquakes or similar issues occur in a short period of time, and they are related to changes in fluids migrating under the Earth's surface. So, water, aquifers in the desert. Hey, maybe that's a good thing, you know? I mean, it's always dry out there. The desert always needs water, so maybe you guys will see some oasis or some springs pop up, you know? The recent quakes ranged from 2.5 to 4.4 magnitude. 4.4, that's pretty... Ain't like 5 like the highest of like earthquakes. So, I mean, 4.4s are... That's pretty heavy earthquake, right? Or am I just thinking like tornadoes or hurricanes? Like, this is a F1, this is a F5, you know? With one of the strongest occurring at a shallow depth of about 2.5 miles. Isn't everything out in Nevada kind of a shallow depth? You know, not trying to be a smartass, but it's kind of flat out there, right? Oh no, they got mountains. They got mountains. Yeah, because Area 51 is surrounded by mountains. Yeah, I've seen videos of like hikers and shit hiking through Area 51. Yeah, they got mountains, never mind. Which reminds me, I need to do some watch-alongs with you guys. I got some more videos stacked up. I might need to do it on OBS. Nevada continued to experience earthquakes into Friday on a 5.2 magnitude quake recorded in the early hours of the morning near Carson City. This kind of makes me sad, though. That's a big one, though, 5.2. Art Bell, I think he lived near Area 51. I know he lived in Nevada, I believe. It was either Arizona or Nevada, but he would have loved this story, considering it was so close to his neighborhood, his backyard, you know? I don't know, every time I think of the West, I think of Doug Stanhope in Bisbee, Arizona, because that's where I want to retire to. If I ever get to retire. Doubtful. But, I always think of, because Bisbee's a cool town. It's like an old hippie town. All the buildings are colored, like multicolored, and looks like Edward Scissorhands neighborhood, I guess. That's what I've heard it described as. Real artsy-fartsy town. Out in the middle of nowhere, which I would love. Because I don't like people. I would just kind of be like the new Art Bell out there. Out in the middle of the desert, just broadcasting, you know. And I always think of Doug Stanhope, Bisbee, Arizona, and I think of Art Bell. Every time I think of Nevada or Arizona, like Area 51, I don't know, I just love Art Bell. He was like a big inspiration for this, but anyways. Area 51 has long been the subject of theories related to alien life, owing to its Cold War origins and the high levels of security surrounding the site. It's also close to Nevada test site, where the U.S. tested nuclear weapons from 1951. Oh shit, to 1992. I thought it ended in the 70s. No, they were testing nuclear weapons all the way up until 92. And Trump, like I said, we did a whole episode on it, reinstated that. They are now going to be able to, I don't know if they have started. Makes sense. Why would you reinstate it if you're not going to do it? So they probably started testing nuclear bombs again. Especially with all this shit popping off between Israel, Iran, us and Iran. We's getting ready for World War III, you know. In my opinion, you know, the letter to Mazzini from Albert Pike, Warner von Braun prophecy, well, it wasn't even really a prophecy. He was just telling the plan. The hammer and the nail analogy, that there's 5 countries we need to invade. I think 4 out of the 5 are scratched off that list. Creepy shit, man. It's not looking good. I try not to cover too much of the war because it's not really my department. I cover more conspiracy. I try to stay out of politics a lot, but it's kind of unavoidable. Kind of ties in with conspiracy. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists who don't like politics or military talk or true crime and shit like that. And it's like, you might not like those subjects or genres, but they tie in with conspiracies, This proximity has led to speculation online about possible renewed activity at the site, although there is no evidence to support such claims. I just listed off 2 reasons why they would start testing, but he's technically right. It's not evidence, but it's speculation. It's a theory. It's a conspiracy theory. It's Occam's razor, though. It would most likely be nuclear testing rather than something alien or extraterrestrial or military aircraft. In fact, according to the Nevada Seismological Laboratory, a research division at the University of Nevada, the state ranks 3rd in U.S. for number of earthquakes over the past 150 years. So, 3rd in the U.S. for most amount of earthquakes. Seismic activity in the region is therefore not unusual, but that hasn't stopped online theorists. For example, on X, aka Twitter, geologist Stefan Burns claims earthquakes and nuclear tests are actually quite similar. They are different, but in general, they form similar characteristics, but because basically there's a big blast of energy. So this is an actual geologist saying that. But Dr. Sherbakov, this guy's got to be Russian, says that this is Russian propaganda. YouTube's gonna flag that. Yeah, by the way, did you guys see they flagged my fucking video the other day? It was me playing the police audio for David Wilcock, speculating that I found that it was odd, the whole situation. Go check that episode out. There's a David Wilcock playlist. There's 2 episodes in there. I've been covering a lot of that missing scientist shit here lately. I don't mean it like shit, but you know what I'm saying. You guys know how I talk. Yeah, I got a fucking... it wasn't a flag. It wasn't a warning. It wasn't like a strike or anything. Knock on wood. Thank God. But, yeah, because I talked about suicide. Because I said the word suicide. So they put like a little warning on there. Like they age restricted it. Like, I'm not monetized, so it doesn't bother me. But it does bother me because, like, it's going to get pushed up less, the algorithm, So this is why I need you guys to like and share my content, because if you guys are interested in the content that I'm putting out and you want to see my channel grow, you like what I'm doing here, I need likes and shares and comments. Comments help push it up the algorithm because it it shows that the video is getting like engagement, subscriptions, all that shit helps. Oh, there's a hype button. Go push the hype button, Sorry, I don't remember how I got on this. Oh, yeah, because I said this is Russian propaganda. The AI's triggered now. Which, I mean, I don't do myself any help by, like, non-censoring. But I swear to God, dude, during COVID, I've talked about this before, but, this video is probably going to get fucking age restricted now. It's already going to get shadow banned. I just said, like, every trigger word possible. during COVID, I was actually self-censoring, like using code words like fucking like the jibber jabber or the mosquito bite, the beer bug. I was using all these different code words, and I was actually getting more strikes when I was using code words. Finally, one day I said, fuck it, they're going to take my channel. They're going to fucking ruin my, podcasting career, blah, blah, blah. I just snapped one day and I said, I'm not censoring any fucking more. If they take me off YouTube, I'm going to BitChute, I'm going to Rumble, I'm going to Rockfin, I'm going to Spotify. Like, I'm never going back to YouTube. I just stopped giving a fuck and I stopped censoring. Once I stopped censoring, I got like no more strikes and shit. Or if I did, it would be once in a blue moon I would get a strike. And I'm like, I think that, and I'm not the only one that feels this way. High Impact Flicks back in the day, he was the one who kind of put that little spark in my mind of, he's like, he thinks that it was actually drawing more attention by self-censoring. The AI was noticing like this is weird, and it was drawing more attention to it, and people were getting strikes like crazy self-censoring. When if they actually would have just said what they wanted to say, it was actually getting less attention. It's weird. He thinks it was kind of a psyop, and I have to agree. So yeah, I don't censor at all anymore. But Dr. Sherbakov said that this isn't entirely correct. From the signature of the waveforms in most cases, we can tell if it's a nuclear test or an explosion, or if it's a natural earthquake, he said. I checked the waveforms of that 5.2 event, and it's a typical tectonic earthquake. So this Sherbakov guy is essentially, in his opinion, his professional opinion, debunking any conspiracy theories, which I don't think anyone has quoted any conspiracy theory. They've just said, hey, Area 51 is a very weird spot. There's a nuclear testing area, Trump reinstated nuclear testing. There's 17 earthquakes in like a very short period of time, and this is all recent. Like, anyone else think this is weird? Anytime, like, we had a fire at Area 51, which I covered last year. Go check that episode out. And like, I was one of the only people to report on it. Like, Area 51 was on fire, like a huge ass fire. And I'm like, does anyone else think this is fucking weird? What's going on over there? Are they burning some evidence of something? What is going on? Did they crash a experimental military aircraft? Am I the only one that finds this shit interesting? It was weird. I was like one of the only people reporting on it. I'm like, this is like conspiracy gold right here. Referencing nuclear tests that have previously taken place in North Korea, Dr. Sherbakov said there are big distinctions between how an earthquake and a nuclear explosion appear on seismometers, and these are well understood by experts in the field. As for what really goes on at Area 51, there is very little official information, but it's widely believed to be a development and testing ground for a cutting-edge aircraft. I agree. That's my theory. I think it's like, I really don't think, I don't know. If you would have asked the old me when I first started podcasting, around that period, when I first started podcasting, hang on, I gotta, shit. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. If you go check out like my early shit on this channel, I've been doing this for a decade. And this was even years before I was podcasting. I was just making short little conspiracy videos, book reviews on conspiracy shit. I was like super big into the ancient astronaut theory. Super big into ufology. I'm still technically, I would still classify myself as an ancient astronaut theorist. I don't think it's so much nuts and bolts. I think it's more interdimensional beings. The gods of old, all that jazz. Jinn, daemons, fallen angels. I get into all of it. I think we're all talking about the same shit. We're just using different names. That being said, I'm not sure how I feel about flat Earth. I'm a geocentrist. I've said that. I've come out, on my channel, and my did an interview a while back on someone else's channel. They put it out too. It was pretty cool. I'm a geocentrist. I don't know what the fuck's going on out there. Until I go to space, I don't know. Until I get some dope-ass telescope, I don't know. Seems like all the good telescopes, none of us can use them. The Vatican has Lucifer over there. Are we allowed to use it? Hell no. We ain't some Jesuit priest, or some scientist, or Neil deGrasse Tyson. Why is it we're not allowed to use these awesome telescopes? I think for a certain amount of money, we should be able to just pay and use these like super high-tech telescopes. I want to see this shit. But I mean, people are like, oh, look, there's Mars. Ain't it crazy? That's a dirt planet. And I'm like, it just looks like a blinking red dot to me. I don't know what the fuck that is. And then even with a telescope, because we get the shitty ones, we're the sheeple. We only get the little tiny shitty ones. It just looks like a fucking blinking red dot. I don't know what that is. I've never been to space, man. I don't believe in the moon landing and shit. But yeah, I mean, most likely, dude. Like, if you would have asked me way back in the day, I would have been like, oh, this is all alien. They're doing alien shit. They're fucking around with alien technology. I've kind of become, as weird as it sounds, a little more of a non-believer the older I've gotten with the whole alien ufology shit. I think it's just probably, like this guy says, experimental government aircraft. I mean, now where they got that aircraft from, dun dun dun, I don't know. I'll dabble in with that. Are they tapping into some fallen angel technology? Are fallen angels aliens? Is it alien technology? I don't know on that one, I do think if there's thousands of galaxies and space is what they tell us, I truly do believe that we are not alone. The goings on at this site are so secretive that its existence was only officially acknowledged by the CIA in 2013, despite the base first being established in 1955. I was going to say, dude, we knew about Area 51 like in the 90s, bro. I love how we needed like the CIA's official statement for it to be established officially in 2013. It was officially established by the CIA, the most scummiest organization out there. They traffic children, smuggle drugs, usurp leaders of other countries and establish their own. Yeah, and it says the base was established in 1955, but it was officially acknowledged by the CIA. I don't care. Fuck the CIA. Please don't kill me. Meanwhile, a separate conspiracy theory has gained credibility after the FBI announced it would investigate a string of cases of missing and deceased scientists, many of whom were reportedly involved in sensitive nuclear and aerospace research. Which, by the way, we've been covering that like crazy on the channel. I have a playlist. I think we've done about 4 or 5 episodes on that subject now. If you're on YouTube, go to the playlist Missing Scientist. We covered pretty much all of them missing so far. I want to do a deeper dive in that Eckhart chick. I think that's her last name. Her case is very weird. And there's a lot of high strangeness in her case, considering with her neighbor, possible direct energy weapons. A lot of weird shit with that chick. I need to do a whole episode just on her because her story's intriguing. But please like, share, and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think is going on at Area 51 with all these 17 fucking earthquakes. Kind of weird, man. Let me know.